Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chairperson. Although the Tribunal, are we 10 minutes? Although the Tribunal was established as an alternative to bringing a compensation claim to court, very few claims have been submitted to the Tribunal to date. In fact, no claims had been made to the Tribunal by March 2021. The 22nd of March 2021. The Minister for Health stated on the 30th of June 2021 that 5 claims had been received, and in contrast, 199 legal proceedings have been issued to date relating to the cervical check issue, of which 195 were claims received since the 1st of January 2018. 170 of these relate to the alleged misreading of a smear of a service user. The 221 plus patient support group provides support and advice to women and families directly affected by cervical check failures and has been critical of some of the process of the Tribunal. For example, the group proposed that a non-adversarial route be found for the Tribunal, one not obliging the women and families affected by these instances of cancer misdiagnosis to fight the multinational laboratories. But this approach was rejected by government. In October 2020, the group stated that we seek further engagement for change on Tribunal as previously requested, or will recommend members not engage. I would urge this government to get this sorted. We have had enough cock-ups on this. It's people's lives you're dealing with. Women and their families have suffered enough. And you know what I noticed here this evening, Carol, is that so many government slots here for talking on this issue have been passed by because none of the TDs have the gut to stand here before the people for the shocking way they treated women's health in this issue. And it's easy to know why they're embarrassed and they've turned their back on even coming up here and maybe issuing an apology for those. This is an appalling attack on a woman's basic right to know her the results and to think that the results of her tests that are life and death basically for many women were withheld and held back, and nobody held accountable. That's the astonishing thing about this. You know, we've heard speakers there talk about the Chief Medical Officer at the time, Tony Hoolan, saying that there wasn't any patient concerns, and there's many other statements he made at the time. And what I want to know from you, Minister, was who was held accountable for this absolute shocking situation where we have women that were left without basically their results that could help to save their lives. And we have people, great people in this country like Vicky Phelan, who's fighting for her life and is fighting to be with her family, but also fighting for other people to give them the rights and show them, you know, what a great fight you can put up and to speak about the ill and the awful things that were done was done to Vicky and many other Vickies as well. And I certainly, in my time in here, I've yet to see someone from this government or the previous government get up and say we got this terribly wrong, but heads did roll. I think actually most people got promoted and got extra pay that were involved in this scandal down through the years, and instead of them heads rolling and accountability, because that's all people want is accountability. And sorry is a very small word, but it seems to be a very difficult word to come out of the mouth of the government politicians. And I, as I said, in my time in here, will do everything I can to help smoothen the road for people that are going through such horrific ordeal in their lives and terrible wrongs made against them, and that we make sure that wrong is never to happen again in this country. But again, the only way that can happen is severe accountability for those who created the wrongs and who continued basically to cover up. That's what it was, and it's led to a lot of suffering for families in this country. And as I said, it's unfortunate that no matter what advice people government are getting in this continue to make people suffer in this issue. And you know, when I look at the notes there, when I was saying that you know, there was, for example, the group proposed that a non-adversarial route to be found for the tribunal, one not obliging the women and the families affected by these instances of cancer misdiagnosis to fight the multinational laboratories, but this approach is rejected by government. That's continuing the suffering of these women, and it's not good enough to have made error after error, but continue their suffering is something that must be stopped immediately. Thank you.